What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And guys, it's Barca Reacts back again. And today we're going to do something different. We're going to have some fun. And hey, I'm going to give you guys my top 10 Barcelona players of all time. It's ranked. This is my top 10. Man, when I was looking back at this Barcelona, this club, it has a rich history and so many great players play here. No wonder I chose to support this club, man. It gave me flashbacks. But guys, without further ado, before we start, like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't. Road to 600 subs. It's been a great 2024, and hopefully, God willing, 2025 is going to be the same. But guys, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into this. But first, I want to say we've had some great players over the years, seriously, in defense, midfield, attack, and it really reminded me why I love this club. But in this top 10, I have to give out some honorable mentions. Neymar Jr., one of my favorite players, seriously, showman, Neymar, Dani Alves, he probably should be in it, but I have some preferences, and I had to make some tough decisions. And also Gerard Piqué, my favorite defender in Barcelona history, just the way that he talked, he was a little bit of a chatter, and Piqué was an amazing player. And also no R9 in this list. It might shock you, but he didn't play long enough, and Figo for obvious reasons. But guys, let's get into this. And at the 10 spot, I have Ronald Koeman. Ronald Koeman, he was a great center back, but not only that, he was just a great football player, man. He was an unorthodox center back. This dude had talent. And guys, his long-range striking of the ball is unprecedented from a center back. And man, Ronald Koeman, his biggest moment at Barcelona, which guys, I forgot to say, we're going to add a moment for every single player in the top 10 if they had one. And most of these guys did. And Ronald Koeman's biggest moment as Barcelona was his 92 UCL, or back then European Cup final goal, which helped Barcelona win their first UCL. But guys, at 9, I got none other than Samuel Eto'o. And guys, it was a tough decision because I was thinking, should Dani Alves be ahead of these two guys? But then I was thinking, Ronald Koeman, this guy, we have to add one player from that 92 Barcelona team. And Samuel Eto'o, one of the greatest African players, also playing for Barcelona, was huge into 2006 and 2009 UCL triumphs. And Samuel Eto'o, for club and country, this guy absolutely showed up in the clutch. And for Barcelona, he's a huge part of the history. Whether we like it or not, Samuel Eto'o, he's a real cooler. He's one of the greatest strikers for Barcelona. And guys, this guy was too. Rivaldo, part of the big three R's. Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and R9. But Rivaldo, he definitely makes this list. Even though he didn't win as much as the other guys, this guy right here, in the late 90s under Louis van Gaal. And Rivaldo was a key reason why Barcelona in the late 90s were still winning trophies. His left foot, the shot power, he showed up in the clutch. Still won trophies for Barcelona, even though the team wasn't superstar studded as other Barcelona teams. And Rivaldo, I feel like he definitely has a great moment here. Also, if we remember back in history, his hat trick against Valencia, the overhead kick, seriously, one of the greatest hat tricks. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And that's why Rivaldo at 8, I think it's fair. But guys, Luis Suarez, El Pistolero, this guy, a lot of recent fans know him, and Luis Suarez was phenomenal. Probably, in my opinion, the second or third best striker after R9, probably. But Luis Suarez at Barcelona was fantastic. Seriously, his goal record, the La Liga, the 40-goal season in 2016, and Luis Suarez, probably his moment as Barcelona has to be that hat trick against Real Madrid in our 5-1 victory, or probably the UCL final goal, which really sealed the deal. But guys, Luis Suarez, he was ruthless in front of goal, the acrobatic goals, all the volleys. Man, his connection with Messi was something else, and that's why I think Luis Suarez at 6, he definitely deserves a spot. But guys, let's enter to the top 5. And guys, Carlos Puyol, we got to show some love to a defender, and he was probably the captain, probably the best captain Barcelona's ever seen. And Carlos Puyol, even though I think his best moment individually was not at Barcelona, it was probably the semi-final goal against Germany for Spain that led them to the World Cup final. And man, Carlos Puyol, this guy was the definition of wearing your heart on your sleeve. Seriously, this guy would get hurt for Barcelona. He would put his body on the line. And guys, this is the ultimate for professional. This is what you want to see from your center back. Also, the accountability that he showed amongst everybody. A young PK and the young squad that we had at the time But guys, Carlos Puyol, he's probably the best captain that Barcelona's ever had, a serious leader in that locker room. And man, I said number 5 on accident. He's actually number 6 to make this list make sense because guys, at number 5, we got Sergio Busquets. Busquets is a generational, actually a multi-generational talent. And man, Busquets was serious, man. This guy's awareness defensively and offensively, the press resistance, he know where to be, his positional discipline, and hey, man, Sergio Busquets, he is the definition of the perfect single pivot. Man, Barcelona, they've struggled to replace him, seriously. And man, I wouldn't say Busquets has a greatest moment individually, but just to troll you guys, I will say his assist to Messi in the UCL final against Real Madrid, you know? Serious, what a great pass to Messi. But guys, number 4, I'm going to say Xavi Hernández. Xavi Hernández, regardless of what you thought of him as a manager, we are talking about strictly the player. Xavi was serious. And honestly, this might be the first controversial one. Some people will probably say this guy's way too low. But guys, Barcelona, they've had serious talents all throughout their time. And man, Xavi Hernández, he probably has the best peak season ever for a midfielder. 31 assists in 08-09. And man, Xavi Hernández was serious, man. You can't get the ball off him, Iniesta, Busquets. And this guy was the most efficient of them. When it comes to passing, he probably had the most pinpoint pass. And Xavi's assist to Messi in the UCL final against Man United also. What a great moment for him. But honestly, for Xavi, I would say the best moment was probably the 5-0 win against Real Madrid in that El Clasico, because honestly, he scored and he controlled the whole midfield. It was a Xavi show, man. And guys, that's why he's at number 4. But number 3 is just a preference. In my opinion, probably the greatest midfielder of all time with Zidane, Iniesta, man. And the reason that separates Xavi from Iniesta is that Iniesta in a final, in the biggest moment, in the biggest game, Iniesta is going to put himself on the score sheet. We've seen it in the World Cup final. We've seen it in Champions League final when he holds up the man of the match. And man, this guy right here, a man of the match in the Euro final, a World Cup final, a Champions League final. He's a big game player, one of the biggest game players Barcelona have ever had, and even in football. And he's also a silky midfielder. The dribbling, the Iniesta move, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Iniesta at number 3, I think it's fair. Honestly, it was a pleasure to watch Iniesta too. And guys, at number 2, people might say too high, but for me, it's just my cup of tea. It's my preference. Ronaldinho Gaucho. Gaucho at number 2. Ronaldinho was serious, man. When it comes to culture, footballing culture, the talent, he's a showman. He's coming to entertain the fans. Barcelona also in 2006, he was the main guy. Eto'o was number 2. Ronaldinho, his goal against Chelsea, also the standing ovation at Real Madrid. Probably the biggest 2 moments in a Barcelona shirt for him. But man, I would say Ronaldinho, he came to Barcelona in a time where he was very much needed, and he showed out. He won the Ballon d'Or. He has a World Cup also in his bag. And Ronaldinho, it's just the skills. He's an entertainer, and that's my type of player. I love a Neymar. I love a Messi. I love a Ronaldinho, and that's why he's at number 2, man. But guys, at number 1, was there any doubt, guys? Did you guys really think that I wasn't going to put Lionel Messi at number 1? Lionel Messi, the solo goals, the dribbling, the vision, everything, the playmaking, the creativity off the cuff. Lionel Messi, the Champions League final goals against Manchester United, his performances week in, week out. Forget about the moments. This guy's Mr. Consistent, year in, year out, putting Barcelona, just a single-handedly some years was the reason for why Barcelona was a UCL contender. And man, Lionel Messi, he did it all, man. I'm so happy this guy won the World Cup with Argentina. He's probably the greatest soccer player we're ever going to see. But guys, Messi was the best out of the bunch, man. Barcelona, they've had a lot of legends. Messi, Ronaldinho, that was the list, guys, the top 10. And man, it just made me realize this club is rich with history, and this is why I supported this club, because the talent, the entertainment factor of Barcelona. And guys, I have a question for you guys in the comments down below. Can Lamine Yamal crack the top 10? I'm not trying to put pressure on the kid, but man, he's extremely talented. He's fun to watch. Can he get on this list one day? But guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to conclude here. Guys, can we reach the like target of 10 likes? But man, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Road to 600 subs, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.